Ave Maria, and welcome to episode 6 of Marian Shrines of the World. Today we're going to France, to the famous shrine of Our Lady of Rocamadour. The Way of St. James has existed for over 1,000 years. It was one of the most important Christian pilgrimages during medieval times, together with Rome and Jerusalem, and a pilgrimage route on which a plenary indulgence could be earned. Legend holds that St. James's remains were carried by boat from Jerusalem to northern Spain, where he was buried on the site of what is now the city of Santiago de Compostela. The way can take one of a number of pilgrimage routes to Santiago de Compostela. Traditionally, as with most pilgrimages, the Way of St. James began at one's home and ended at the pilgrimage site. During the Middle Ages, the route was highly travelled. One of the main routes through France took pilgrims to the limestone cliffs overlooking the valley of the Alzon River, to the ancient shrine of Rocamadour, itself one of the most celebrated Marian pilgrimage sites during the Middle Ages. Pilgrims made their way to Rocamadour to see a black virgin statue in a small chapel built into the cliffs. Flights of steps ascend from the lower town to the churches, a group of massive buildings halfway up the 400-foot high cliffs. As an act of devotion, early pilgrims would ascend the 216 stone steps on their knees. Historical records tell that in 1166 an incorrupt body was discovered buried in a cave next to the chapel, and thus began the legend of St. Amador. The identity of the body was unknown, but it was assumed he was a hermit who had lived in the area. Because of his devotion to God, he was given the name Amador, meaning the lover, and from this evolved the name of the town Rock Amador, the Rock of the Lover. According to legend, Amador was Zacchaeus of Jericho, a tax collector, as mentioned in St. Luke's Gospel. Zacchaeus is said to have brought a statue of the Black Virgin with him to Rocamadour, carved by St. Luke the Evangelist. The statue currently at the shrine is dated only to the 9th century. So, although miraculous, the statue is likely not to have been the original. Already in the 12th century, a collection of 126 reported miracles attributed to Our Lady of Rocamadour was compiled, and many more have been recounted since. She has healed the sick, the insane, punished criminals, threatened and converted those who did not respect her, won battles for her followers, brought dead babies back to life at least long enough to be baptized, freed captives, protected sailors, helped women conceive and give birth, and performed just about every other imaginable miracle. Many saints, kings and queens have come here seeking the blessings of the Queen of Heaven. For example, Saint Bernard of Clairvaux, Saint Dominic, Saint Louis the Ninth of France, Eleanor of Aquitaine, Henry II of England, Charles IV of France, Louis XI of France, and Jacques Cartier, pioneer explorer in Quebec, Canada, who prayed to the Blessed Virgin under the title of Our Lady of Rocamadour that he would make a pilgrimage to her shrine if he should obtain the grace to return to France after leaving Canada safely. There are 4 main chapels at the shrine. The Basilica of Saint Saviour has the cliff face as one of its walls and is decorated with paintings and inscriptions. The Chapel of St. Michael is sheltered by an overhanging rock with many well-preserved frescoes within. The miraculous chapel contains the tomb of St. Amador, who is said to have carved out a hermitage in the rock which is also preserved. However, the main attraction for most is Our Lady's Chapel, which houses the miraculous Black Virgin statue. An interesting feature in the 9th century bell on the ceiling of Our Lady's Chapel. People say it rings at the moment when Our Lady saves someone whose life was threatened, especially when that someone is at sea. Many stories recount how men at sea had employed Our Lady of Rocamadour to save them from a storm. They promised to undertake a pilgrimage to her sanctuary if she'd spare their lives. A stone plaque on the wall lists 15 years between 1385 and 1617, when the miraculous bell rang without human intervention. Over the centuries, the shrine underwent periods of prosperity and decline. In 1562, the shrine was pillaged and burnt by the Protestants, and the body of St. Amador was destroyed. The statue of the Black Virgin, however, was unharmed. Reconstruction of the shrine began in the 1800s. The shrine and its legendary statue continue to be venerated, and Rocamadour remains one of the most popular Marian holy places in all of France. A miracle of recent times was the healing of a crippled nurse from London. She was with a group of pilgrims en route through Lourdes when their bus got stuck in mud during a rainstorm. The neighbouring town was Rocamadour, so they spent the whole night there. In the morning at Holy Mass, rather than wait for the priest to bring her Holy Communion, she crawled to the altar rail and pulled herself up to receive the Blessed Sacrament. Afterwards she was able to walk back to her seat unaided. She had been healed. Tourists came to Rocamadour for its religious interest, historical significance, beautiful architecture, and the spectacular views. For pilgrims, the importance lies with the miraculous statue of the Virgin Mary and the ancient tomb of St. Amador. In fact, Rocamadour receives over 1.5 million visitors each year, making it one of the most visited shrines in France. So if you are planning to visit France, adding Rocamadour to your itinerary is a must. Ave Maria.